Welcome to the Mixology of Real Estate, where agents talk about the recipes that work to build a successful business while mixing the perfect cocktail. Welcome your host, Stephen Votino.
Welcome to another episode of the Mixology of Real Estate. I'm your host, Stephen Votino, and my guest today is Lauren Greer. Today we're going to talk about real estate, of course, but really what you guys tuned in for is learn how to make another wonderful cocktail with us. And today we're going to make the tequila honeysuckle. Again, never had this one, never made it, but it sounds delicious.
I have not either, but I love tequila, so I wanted to try something new.
Lauren and I were talking the other day, and the reason I brought her in is because we are having a hard time finding a buyer a home. Can we think like an entrepreneur? Can we take that buyer and turn it into multiple transactions?
Right.
What is the process we should be following to take that one buyer and turn it into 2 or 3 transactions? So we're going to talk about that today and make this wonderful drink. So I love it. This starts off with 2 ounces of tequila.
All right, here's our one,
there we
right?
go. And this says we need 2 ounces of it. So I'll let you pour first. Can
Right.
you handle it? Can you handle that?
I think I can.
Wow. That didn't even fill it all the way to the top.
Trying to not make a mess.
Pour it
on
into
in
there, and then I'm going to borrow that. What are some of the methods we can do to help find a house? And the one thing we do definitely start with is the expired and the FSBO listings.
Right.
Before we get into that, we need to get some honey syrup, which is really half honey, half water. If you don't have honey syrup laying around, because I know I don't keep that at home in my pantry. How about you?
I do not keep it in
Yeah.
mind. I even had to Google how to make honey syrup.
So as for measuring that, so we need 0.75
yeah.
ounces because this is science.
That's true. You have to be exact.
Right. So for those of you who went to school in science, is it science that we learned milliliters and ounces and all that kind of stuff? Or is that math? Or is it a combination? I don't remember. But, stay in
science.
school, kids. So anyhow, with the expired and the FSBOs, what we tell our agents is you need to think about what your buyer is looking for and then turn around and look for any FSBO in the market that meets that criteria. You need to call those FSBOs and you need to ask if they're willing to work with a real estate agent. One way to eliminate some of the competition is to be able to take them to a FSBO where they're not going to have tons of realtors beating on the door because it's not properly
Try to
marketed.
avoid that multiple offer situation and get to the house first.
And then the other thing we tell our agents to do is go look at expired, not just recent expired, but go back 3 years. Make sure they haven't resold. But if they're meeting that criteria, pick up the phone. If you don't have their phone number, drop a letter in the mail or even door knock and say, hey, I noticed you tried to sell before. I have a buyer that meets this criteria. We've been having a hard time finding a house. Would you be willing to sell?
And they might be very impressed right now with what the value of their home is. They may not realize what kind of market we're at.
And they might have had a certain reason at the time they had to pull off the market or, and things might change now. So it is a good approach. Again, less competition.
Right.
And by doing this, chances are they have to buy something else. That expired might need to buy a house. They got 2 transactions. If it doesn't work out, the seller might think this is a good market to sell. Now I can go ahead and list that house, help them buy a new house. Why I find that buyer a house. 3 transactions right there. Entrepreneurial spirit
And
going
you
on
just
right
look
there.
like an awesome rock star to your client that you found them a house in this market.
With an expired and a FSBO, those are 2 ways to take that buyer and try to turn it into multiple transactions and solve a problem of opening up more inventory besides just looking at MLS like
You're
everyone
using
else
your time
does.
wisely.
All right, so we got that. Now we need 0.75 ounces of lime juice.
Now, I've never done this before, but I feel like it's
You've
pretty
never
simple.
squeezed a lime before?
Well, probably not fresh.
Really?
We can always buy the lime juice.
Yeah, that's true. I had that little squirt
And,
bottle you put in the
yeah.
refrigerator and you just take it out like that and squirt it. All right. That is a perfect 0.75 ounces of lime juice. Look at that. Impressive. We don't even have to measure.
We're just gonna,
We're very skilled here. So then I'm gonna do the same thing. It smells like tequila. I'm going to squeeze, let me do it this way, some lime juice, get the good squeeze on.
Yep.
Two-handed here, make sure I get all that good juice out. Yummy. Okay, that's good.
All
I think
right.
I've got enough. And now we gotta shake this,
Shake it up.
shake it up. All right, try not to spill any of
I know.
this
I'm
tequila.
really hoping this does not go everywhere
I'm
when
just
I
not
do
gonna
this.
go nuts. And pour this beautiful thing
Into our nice
into
little
the cup.
droplets.
And oh, look at that.
That looks fancy.
Gorgeous. Oh,
Oh, wow.
straining skills. Not there. We
Not
got
the strong
ice.
suit.
Oh no. Can you zoom in on that so you has the better pour? Huh? taste our drink
That's not
first
really
before
gonna
we
work,
move
so
on.
we're just
Well,
gonna-
just throw it off to the side.
Yeah.
Who needs the lime anyhow? Just for
Cheers.
decoration. Cheers. Okay.
That's actually really delicious.
Wow, it's really good.
Very good.
Well, if I fail as a business owner, I can always turn into a bartender. So, we've talked about the expireds and the FSBOs.
Right.
The other thing that we need to be doing as agents is talk to our own sphere of influence. One of the easiest things we can do, you can post on Facebook, hey, I've got this family, they're a wonderful family, they're looking for a home in this neighborhood or in this area. Does anyone know anyone that's thinking of selling their house? A
And you
colleague,
never
a
know
friend, a
who's
neighbor.
on the fence that just needed to see that post.
One
and
of them might pop up.
It pops up and goes, oh, Susie's been mentioning that, so I need to reach out.
You know, I know for us, you know, we've got about 100 agents in the area, and a lot of the audience probably has at least a network of agents or agents in their office. They can reach out to you, see if you have anything coming on the market.
Yeah, reach out to the agents in your office. Utilize them. Help each other out. You know, they might have a listing that you don't know about coming soon, and it would be perfect for your clients. Or they have a seller on the fence, and you can now say, I have a buyer.
Right. Another effective thing would be to go ahead and get those buyer letters out. We talk about them all the time. We usually do them at a desperate last second save moment where we can't find a house. Oh my God, what are we going to do? This should be part of the process. This should be part of the steps we do each time. Get that letter out in the neighbors are looking, or homes that meet their criteria. See if anyone's willing to sell. Did you have a buyer? I know for a lot of our agents, that's led to working with investors, getting additional listings, helping their buyers actually find a home. It's these kinds of things in the process that can help us, again, think like an entrepreneur, try to drum up some more business.
Right.
Circle prospecting.
Yep.
Another thing we can do, homes, let's say they missed out on a home they're trying to buy. Well, we can let the neighbors know that that's home sold, that we still have buyers. Maybe that home had 10 offers on it. Say, I have a buyer and there's
Many other ones.
Yeah, and there's probably 8 other buyers out there that want your neighborhood and want a house like yours. Have you thought about selling? So you can do that with something that just went under contract, something that just once sold.
And you can call, you can send a letter, you can go knock on their door. And once again, they may not understand the value of their home right now. So surprise them, make them have a great day and find out what their home's worth. Yeah,
so I mean, there's a lot. But can we think of anything else we can do?
Beg.
Get on the street corner and say, I need a house.
Hold a sign up. Signs
please.
seem to be really
I'll work for a
popular
house.
these days.
I'll work for a house.
Yeah, we'll
right?
work for a house. Put the criteria of your client on the sign and say who wants to sell. You know,
So,
you never
but
know.
the point of the whole thing is guys, is no matter what market conditions it are, just stop just taking the easy route and just looking in MLS for a house. Think about, when I get a buyer, I want to build a business. Make this part of your process. Do this repeatedly every time with a buyer, not just when you cannot find a house.
Work smarter, not harder, and use your time wisely and be the rock star to your clients.
I love it. Cheers to another episode of the Mixology of Real Estate. Until I see you next time, happy hunting out there. Bye.